Welcome to our official YouTube channel of Hasmukh Goswami College of Engineering. I am Parth Wadhwa from IT department, going to explain you about data structure. So first of all, we will see what are the topics are going to be covered. So first topic is data management concepts. Second is data types, in which the two types are there, primitive and non-primitive. Third topic is types of data structures. In that, two different types are there, linear and non-linear. Then at last I am going to explain performance analysis and measurement, in which the two different types of analysis are going to be explained. First, what is data? Data is actually what? The basic fact or entity that can be of any type. Either it can be numeric, or either it can be data, or either it can be alphanumeric data. Alphanumeric means alphabets and numbers. Both are the things that are to be combined and making alphanumeric data. When the programmer collects such data, such type of data for processing, it would be required to store them in computer mains memory. Then the process of storing such data is called representation. Process data is to be processed, must be organized in particular fashion. So that type of structures what we are going to organize for this, that is the data structure. Now first of all we will see what is the data structure. It is a representation of the logical relationship existing between the individual elements of data. So the way of organizing all such data items that considers not only the elements stored but also their relationship to each other. So here at the bottom we are going, this is the simple basic structure how we can represent the data. So we can also define data structure as a mathematical or logical model of a particular organization of data items. So different things are there to be specified for the data structure. First is organization, second is accessing, how to access, third is how to associate that. So for that degree of associativity is there, and last is the processing alternatives for information. Next, what is data structure? That is the main thing that we are going to see here. So first thing is algorithm, that are the steps to complete the whole process, plus data structure, that is making one program. So that whole program is that we can call it as a data structure, and the representation of such data structure in the memory of the computer is called storage structure. So the storage structure in auxiliary memory is called as file structure. Now the classification we are going to see, there are two types of the data structure. One is primitive and another is non-primitive. So in the primitive, we can see that the four different type of primitive data structure are there. First is integer, that is a normal number either in plus or minus without any decimal point. Then the floating point with the decimal point that can be either positive or negative. Second thing is character. Character can be anything. Either it can be number, either it can be alphabet in uppercase and lowercase, and any special characters also can come in this character. And last one is pointers, that can point to some particular variable that we can say as a pointer. Another type of data structure is non-primitive, that is derived from this primitive data structure. So the first one is array, that is the collection of the data of a same data type. Either it can be integer, either it can be character, it can be floating point. Next one is list, and third one is files. So list can be classified into further more, that is a linear list and non-linear list. In the linear list we can see the two different classifications that are there, that is stack and queue. So in later we will see about this, and in non-linear there are two types, that is graph and trees. Now next, here we are going to see what are the primitive and non-primitive. The primitive, we have seen that the integers, float, and the examples we already we have seen. They are the basic structures, that basic data types we can say. So the type of data or the value that we are giving to the variables. So what type of data we are going to represent, that we have to show here. So for that we are representing through this primitive data structure. So it can be either integer, it can be either float, either it can be character, or either it can be pointer. So these are the examples of primitive data structures. Second one is non-primitive data structure. So these are derived from these the previous one, that is a primitive data structure. So the collection of such primitive data we can say that are the non-primitive. So non-primitive can emphasize on structuring of group of homogeneous or heterogeneous data items. So examples of non-primitive data types are array, list, and file, we can say. Next one is non-primitive data structure. So in non-primitive data structure, the array is the first one. That is a fixed size sequenced collection of elements of same data type, that I have already told about this. Now list, that is an order set containing some variable number of elements, is called as the lists. Next one is file. A file is a collection of a logically related information. So it is viewed as a large list of records consisting of various fields. So in the bottom we can see the what can be the type of such structures. So first one is array. So we can see here this array. Next one is list, that is representing the arrow that is representing the first one is showing the address of the next one, and the next one is showing the address of the next one. So this is a type of list. Next one is file. So file can be here like this HDFS group, and such type of structure is given here. So that is for the file, we can say. Now next one is linear or non-linear data structure. Linear data structure we can see here. So that is a type of data structure, that is the list. So the list can be classified into two types of data structure, that is linear and non-linear. So first is the linear, that we can say that are connected in a linear fashion by means of logically or in a sequence memory locations, we can say. So in such example is given for this. So that is a stack and queue. So that is a representation of data, we can say, in that the format of the deleting or updating, or we can say insertion of data, is different in both, that is stack and queue. The next one is a non-linear, that are the data structure in which the data items are not arranged in a sequence. So that can be, for example, we can say that the tree and graph can be example for this. So in that also insertion and deletion process is different from others. Next one is operations. Here we can see what type of operations we can see here. So first one is create. The create means what? We have to create some program elements for reserving some memory space. Second one is destroy. Destroy means we whatever the memory space we have allocated, we have to destroy that. So therefore that we are using destroy part. Then the selection process, that is dealing with the access of a particular data within a data structure. Next one is updation. So here updation we can see here. So for the modifying some data in the data structure or updating the data in the data structure, that for that we are using this updation. Next one is searching. If we want to search some particular data that is required by us, then we are using this searching, that is the presence of desired data item present in the list of data items. Sorting means we can arrange all the datas in the form in the particular order, either in a ascending or either in a alphabetical order, or such type of orders we can follow for such sorting methods. Then merging. So two or more than two different datas are there. So we have, if we want to merge that data, then we are using this merging operation. That is a process of combining the data items of two different sorted lists into single sorted list. Next one is splitting. Splitting means dividing. So that is a partitioning of a single list into the multiple list, that is splitting. Then traversal, we can say the traversal is what? The visiting each and every node of a list that we can see in a graph or tree. So if we visit each and every node, that process is called traversal. Then next one is the time and space analysis of algorithms. In this, the time complexity and space complexity we are going to see. So whatever the time is taken to run any program, any single program, so that particular time is called a time complexity, and whatever the space is required in the memory to store that particular program, that is a space complexity. And time and space complexity depends on the lots of things like hardware, operating system, processors, etc. So we don't consider any of these factors while analyzing the algorithm. We will only consider the execution time of an algorithm. In next one, how we can calculate the time complexity, that is written here. So it is most commonly estimated by the timing of the counting the number of elementary functions performed by the algorithm. Algorithm means the steps we want to follow we to complete the whole process. That is the, so if it is taking more and more time, that is the worst case time complexity. If it is completing in a minimum time, that is the best time complexity, we can say. So here the example is given here how we can calculate. So here are the some statements of some program that is given here. So first is what that is a loop structure is given here. That is given A is an array here, and N is a number of elements that we want to access in the array. So here, so one by one it will access each and every number from starting from 0. The total is equal to 0 and it will go up to n minus 1. So that is a loop structure given here. So it will go up to n minus 1. So here we can see here, so what is the total here given? So first, for the first line, n is the number of elements in an array, and in the second the table is given here. So here the total is equal to 0. So line is 1, the cost is 1, and the number of times that is repetition are only 1. For loop is given here in the next line, that is I is equal to 0 up to n minus 1. So here we can see that that it is starting from 0 up to n minus 1. So cost is 2 and number n plus 1, and next line total is equal to total plus ai. So that will repeat according to the for loop, it will repeat n times. So that's why number of time is given as n, and last it is returning the particular variable, that is total, whatever the value is there we will get at last. And so the total time here we can calculate is first one, that is 1, and next one it is 2 times that is repeated, so it is 2 times n plus 1, and next one is plus 2n, and after that it is 1. So after getting the total we are getting 4n plus 1. So finally only n we have to see the time complexity. So that is n or the power of n. So a power of n is 1, so we can consider only n here. So time complexity of the given algorithm is n unit time. So this is the particular example how to calculate the time complexity of any algorithm. So finally, thank you for watching our HGC YouTube channel, and please like it, share it, and don't forget it to subscribe it. Thank you.